Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinkerer and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Well, it looks like Imagineer decided to throw us for a little bit of a loop this time around. Instead of spending the week to celebrate Shushu Pop's birthday, much like they did with Cheerful Bunny 3 and even Leolila 3 with their debut anniversary, it looks like Imagineer's just trying to kind of skirt through the rest of the Digimon collaboration on schedule. So we may just see a Shushu Pop 3 to celebrate her birthday more as a belated gift at this point, but the fans are most certainly not complaining. With the introduction of Mugenja Borg, Apocalypse the End, Imperial Drago, and Magna Knight officially gracing the fields over the past couple weeks with the second run of the Digimon collaboration, this week, as we go into celebrating Tamers, we're going to be seeing two very equally as iconic favorites as well among the community. Beelzemon and Dukemon are both getting XPs to join the battlefield, well, spread over these next 2 weeks. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting with the gacha banners and who to expect. Overall, this week is going to be relatively light on content, I suppose, but still lots of opportunity all the same. Now, with who to expect in the gacha banners this week, we only have one new model of the two that'll be gracing us with their appearance this week, and that is BGM07 Beelza Satan, with a kit of Shoot Spike, Curse Shot, Shotgun, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Bloodstain. Now, in contrast to the other Digimon models, which debuted at least 2 new skills each, with the exception of Mugenja Borg, this one, Beelzemon's XP seems to not really focus too heavily on introducing new stuff aside from Shoot Spike. And to explain that one briefly, it is basically an effective shoot boost, which is shooting damage 50% to self, but it also applies a 50% damage bonus when piercing, and also negates any stealth or conceal effects, much like Radar Sight might. This is going to be a very good skill to have on hand for any of your dominant shooter types that you can use right out of the box, that don't really require a lot of time to charge or even prepare in order to make use of their damage. Especially with a lot of newer shooting skills coming around to really grace the competitive meta, this is going to really be a good way to make sure that those top parts stay in the meta and bring a lot of newer, older parts or older skills up to speed. Aside from that, though, like I said, Duke Knight will be coming in next week, though, to celebrate a part 4 or wave 4, essentially, for the Digimon Collab as a whole. So it's still just a little bit more to go to celebrate, but still lots of exciting things all the same. Now, with the boosted rates we have this week, it's going to be kind of in the same vein as it was with Beelzemon's XP. And this time we're seeing a run of DVL0_1 Blackmail X, which is a variant of the original Blackmail, with a kit of Anti-CG, Double Ghost, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Super Armor. And to explain Anti-CG briefly, because we actually have not seen it too terribly often in current competitive, or even at all, I'm just going to call it, with the exception of 1 or 2 alternatives or variants. But to explain briefly, Anti-CG is basically like Ghost, but instead of checking your charge gauge for bonus damage, it checks the enemy's gauge. So the higher their charge is, the more painful the blow is going to be for them when you go to smack them with it. Additionally, to Blackmail X, we also have DVL01 Belzelga, another iconic favorite from the anime and the games, with a kit of Restore, Double Sacrifice, Biped Legs, and Carrier. Now, of course, compared to the Beelzemon XP, these two models really aren't going to be anything overly new or special. We've had them in the game for a while, they've pretty much been around almost near launch, just a little past, so nothing really new there. But if you are planning to collect either of them, or even the new model as well, they still have some very powerful skills all the same. Blackmail X for Anti-CG or Ghost, and unfortunately the Biped Leg with Super Armor aren't necessarily all that great with the extremely low speed, but immunity to ailments is still immunity all the same. And Belzelga with Melee Sacrifice on both arms, you can throw a very nasty 1-2 punch on the first couple turns to really make sure that you cripple your enemy before they really even have a chance to get their strategy off the ground. Now, at the fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be a really mixed bag as well, with a lot of conditional but very strong attacks all the same. Starting us up on this top row is GBK01 Melody Beat, with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of All-Rounder. We have BTA0 Mekong Narog with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and Blow Beat. and HPP-0 Hippopotamus with Stealth, Double Break Hammer, Tank Legs, and Trap Buster. On this bottom row, we're starting with FLW-0 Charged Seeds with Beam, Double Heater Plant, Multi-Legs, and Extra Magazine. We have OWL-03 Minarova with Laser, Free Shot, Press, Float Legs, and Torturer. And last but not least, BPB-0 Vorpal Rabbit with Triple Anti-Air, Biped Legs, and Bullet Ring. Now, like I said, a lot of the skills that we have available to us this week for Fierce Battles aren't necessarily going to be anything you can use immediately out of the box. Say, for instance, for the exception of 1 or 2 models or some miscellaneous parts. Rather, a lot of these parts that are available this week for farming are mostly going to be for your conditional niche kind of team, such as, say, Vorpal Rabbit with your anti-air tornado coverage, Melody Beat for just kind of your all-around filler parts, Bekong Naro for Provoke if you do choose to use aggro-type shields, Hippopotamus for tank legs and Trap Buster or even Break Hammer. I'm going to skip right over Charge Seeds because he really doesn't have a lot going for him. But honestly, all the models still have something that are useful all the same in some form or capacity. Minarova, though, I would honestly have to give MVP of the week, primarily because of the very wide-range kit that she brings to the table that you can use pretty readily just about anywhere. Even if Torture is a really weird ability that doesn't synergize super well with her kit as a whole, minus, of course, Free Shot, it still is a very solid model all the same. And of course, Free Shot on females, especially really early on for a lot of new Metarotters, is a very good part to have in any kind of capacity, because you don't need to have the part raised very high in order to successfully inflict freeze and stop enemies in their tracks, which, thus, makes it a lot easier for a lot of newer players to nuke things a lot easier and make a lot easier work of some of the tougher battles. I know in my early days when we first got Free Shot and everything, it was an absolute godsend that we got that part, and it most certainly is still the case for a lot of newer players all the same. Now, something else to mention as well is that much like most of the other models in the previous weeks of the collab, Beelza Satan is also getting a paid skin as well, featuring his Beelzamon Blast Mode alternative that is also present in the Digimon series. This skin, of course, is going to be much like others, so it's not going to be super expensive to buy, usually about 20 bucks or so tops, but still, it does give you a bundle of rubies that you can use for your pulls all the same. But friendly reminder as well, buying the skin does not give you the model. So this means you need to actually have the Beelzamon model before you actually go and buy the skin, or if you buy the skin and fail to get him, it's just going to look pretty in your library until you get it. But we do also get a reveal of a Crimson Mode alt skin for Duke Knight that will be coming next week as well. So if this model doesn't necessarily pique your interest, this is still a good week to save and stockpile before he does officially hit the scene. Now, as far as events are concerned, though, we do actually have a pretty nice and lucrative event incoming as well. This time around for Wave 3, we have an opportunity to earn the Fly Medal, which has a mastery in shooting, support, and healing, and leg masteries in floating, multi, and flight. And we can also earn the first run medal from the original Digimon collaboration, the Tamer Medal, which is a mastery in melee, shooting, and support, which is a very solid all-rounder medal with a very good nature, with a mastery in biped, multi, and wheeled legs. So both of these are going to be very solid medals across the board. Fly Medal for Sniper Nature, Tamer Medal for Hunter Nature. Very good for your CG Sustained and CG Use type models. Very, very easily. You can also earn another profile banner featuring the Beelzamon XP himself, and more limited time gacha tickets for final attempts towards the Halloween skins as we crest into the end of October and into early November and prepare to celebrate for Medarot Day and hype it up. This event in particular for this next wave will be boss fight. Will be point-based score attack plus boss fight. So pure sets will be encouraged across the board to build your teams to maximize your bonuses. For the regular dungeon bonuses, it'll be a 15% bonus for both Belzelga and Blackmail X respectively, a 9% bonus for both Unitrice or Excise, the commercial versions, not the crafty modes, and a 6% bonus per part for all of the Fierce Battles. For the Metarotters, again for the standard dungeon, it'll be a 10% for any of the SR Metarotters between Azuma, Ikki, and Koishimaru, a 5% bonus for the R versions respectively, and a 3% for the N rank. Now, for the boss fight bonus specifically, where you get the second half of the bonuses and the more lucrative bonuses as well, It'll be a 15% bonus per part of the Beelze Satan model equipped across the team, a 20% model for the Tamers Azuma cosplay skin for the collab, and a 15% bonus for either of the other two collab Metarotters as well. So it does look to me that these next couple of weeks are going to be pretty heavy on the gacha specifically, because you aren't able to get any of the gold bonuses, gold ticket or the boss fight bonuses at all, unless you have at least one of the Metarotters or even the highlighted model for this week as well. So I would encourage, if the Beelzemon's XP doesn't necessarily come to your a particular appeal this week, do make sure to try to at least pull for the Metarotters, because even if the models come and go, the Metarotters still offer a lot of really nice passives and bonuses that you really can't go wrong with using across the board. One other thing as far as game stuff is concerned is that we are getting a Wave 2 of the Collab Super Invasion that will be going live as well. I do highly expect it's just going to be a very easy in and out with just overclocked medals on the enemies, so very easy free rubies and Cyplazium there. And we also have another wave of event missions going live additionally. So we have even more opportunities for ruby shards and even extra gacha tickets to pull for, or even stockpile if you want to go through this week and just kind of save overall and not really invest a lot of heavy resources. Now, moving on to community-based stuff as we move forward, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Right now, the big project and push is going toward Medarot 4, since 3 is basically finished and 100% playable. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that meets any of those requirements, we would absolutely love the help in doing so. We would love to try to get these projects done quickly, but there's just so much that needs done and that goes into a translation like this. So, if you would love to lend a hand, any extra manpower that is assisted and offered will be always appreciated. Feel free to reach out to me or join our Discord in the link provided in the comments below, and we can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done. Additionally, if you do find yourself not really good in the coding department but still want to assist in something, asking around and even just spreading word is also great, but also we would love to get the Medarot Reloaded Sai manga on the books as well. But we need the hands and manpower as well to be able to do so with cleaners and translators. So feel free to reach out to me, join our Discord, ask around, and we can most certainly try to get you in touch with something to get you started on the right foot. Some other community stuff, as a friendly reminder, I'm going to still keep advocating for this, is we do have the Orim Meta contest that is still ongoing in the Project Rising Beetle Discord server. We are currently just a little over a month, just about a month in at the currently at the moment, and not a whole lot of entries have been submitted thus far, but still a lot of work to be had. We still have just a little under 3 weeks to go before the contest does officially close, so I'm really hoping in these next couple weeks that submissions are going to really spike in the community engagement, because I'm going to be going over all of these in my Medarot Day coverage as we talk about just what we like on each one and officially announce the winners. The contest will be going from the start of October on 10/1 to the end of November at 11/19, and then my Medarot Day coverage will of course be covering the winners, of course, alongside everything else that was announced from the official channel. On the topic of other community-based stuff, just as a friendly reminder as I'm leading up to this and still putting stuff together for my presentation, my What is Medarot collaboration I will be hosting with some dear friends of mine. My friends Sane, Helm-chan, Toad, Vector, and Gold Guardian. I'm exceedingly looking forward to putting that together, and I'm just positively giddy to have to host that collaboration, because I've been digging up sources and asking around for information and feedback from all the places and using all of my resources. And I'm going to be putting all of it out there as an ultimate beginner's guide to a what is Medarot question. All the news, all the feedback, all the history, and all the facts laid out, so that we have one place that we can go to and talk about all of it. I'm very much so looking forward to that. Please be sure you tune in to me on Saturday, November 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to tune in and hang out with me and my buds on that. One final note to wrap us up as well is that I am always open for commissions for art pieces. So if you are looking for a live 2D VTuber model ready to rig, Standard 3D model, fully rigged, textured, optimized, in the works, I can do those. I also do standard art of varying degrees of complexity as well, and I can do emotes. So if you are looking for something to be done for your YouTube or your Twitch channel and don't necessarily want to break the bank doing so, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord. We can most certainly try to make something happen with that. Right now, I do not currently have anything on the docket at this current moment, so I am free as a bird. I need the money, so feel free to reach out to me on that as well, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. But with all that being said, that does basically cover everything for this week's episode. So like I said, not a whole lot of new stuff per se, mostly a lot of stuff we kind of already expected or more or less anticipated with this third wave of the Digimon collaboration. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, which is cresting nearly 40,000 members and still growing by the day. You can join us on Discord as well in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at Isagamikura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments or suggestions, or if you are a content creator looking for a commission or a collaboration, whether that means having you here with me as a guest host on the MNN, or if you have me stop in on your channel for a friendly chat or a game, I would absolutely love to coordinate and try to make something happen. So feel free to reach out to me as well on either of those platforms, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends of mine a follow on in the Medarot community as well. Konami-Kana7 and Flintlock GP, both wonderful artists of the Medarot community. It always does me good to see their art in my feeds, and I just love the everyday stuff that they put together with their art and their original takes. I am very excited for that, and I just love seeing their art. You will as well for anything that they add to your feeds. Definitely give both of those a follow. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. But until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.